Hello, beautiful people. How are you today? I'm gonna tell you some things in this recording that they don't want you to know because they want me dead because of what I'm about to tell you and how I'm about to explain it to you and what they've been doing to me for the last 2 weeks. It hasn't stopped. They put a kill order on me with their synthetic telepathy. It's been strictly, specifically attacking my heart. And I think Metro Police Department had something to do with the dog bite. It's very painful, but I know what it's doing because I know my body really well. And I can feel it moving inside of me, and I know the names of it. And I'm going to break down the Nazi soft kill synthetic telepathy. Now, I want you to understand a few things before I get into Operation Thumbtack. Major things. If you don't have a background in science, if you don't have a background in medicine, if you don't know how your brain and mind work and the lymphatic system work, or even what that is, this will probably confuse you. Learn about your body and its inner workings, please. It's very important. Knowledge is power. Now, I want you to understand this operation called Operation Thumbtack is at the highest, it's the end of it. Russia, Japan, China, everybody has spent millions, possibly billions of dollars on assassins and assassin training and technology to understand what I'm about to tell you for free. Because they've used it on me and tried to kill me, and I'm still alive to talk about it right now. So I want you to understand Operation Thumbtack is, in a nutshell, it is the collaboration of all the Nazi MK Ultra human experimentation compiled into what works and what doesn't. It is the sickest of the sickest programs, and to get the information that they did, and to get the so-called super soldiers that they did, and to get the human trafficking, sex slave, rape victims that they do, they must have a system that works without compromising this system that I'm about to tell you about. This is a mind control system based on making a human bark like a dog and then forgetting about it. This is a mind control system that has taken the FBI, all of them, and put them in one room for a staffing meeting, and a Nazi director of the FBI that is their so-called therapist who administers mind control says one word and the whole FBI goes Hail Hitler. This is not a joke. This is not a lie. This is their system. Operation Thumbtack. Now, I want you to understand some major things. The mind does not have a firewall. It doesn't. If you don't pay attention to how your mind works, what you think after you thought it, before you thought it, what made you think this, how do you feel about this thought, where's this thought going to take you, where did it come from, is this a good thought, is this my thought? If you don't think like this, you don't understand synthetic telepathy. One thing I need you to understand is it is a questioner and it is a complete lying mechanism. It will manipulate your mind to get it to do whatever it needs to say, whatever it needs to say, to get done whatever it needs to get done. Now, I want you to understand this synthetic telepathy was put online by DARPA, by the CIA, by the NSA, through smart meters. Before that, they were basically just using chemtrails to spray it into people in the air. And they called it military spoofer spray. And their reason was because of they needed to have Raytheon, who is also a huge part of this, to say that we have a Star Wars program, which Raytheon put Star Wars online during the Reagan administration, which consisted of shooting a laser out of the sky with microwaves, or a laser, so they would say. Nobody was really quite sure. It was a pretty hush-hush technology. Now we know it's a microwave weapon, okay? Compressed microwaves. So Raytheon put a compressed microwave laser weapon online, and this is how it works, people. I want you to understand the technology before I get more into it. Now, Raytheon created a pulse array system. What a pulse array system is you have to put your target in a pulse array. How do you do that? Well, you have to light them up. How do you light up your target? You get a fix on your target's magnetic field or the target's face. One or the other. That's how you can guarantee your target. Now, Raytheon has done a magnificent job of isolating everyone's magnetic field with a Lily wave. If you don't know what a Lily wave is, Dr. Lilly created a Lily wave with a sawtooth to hack into your magnetic field. Raytheon took this technology and put it in a satellite and said it was for missile defense. Okay? So basically what they do is when they get you lit up, which they have supposedly your current magnetic field reading so they can infiltrate your mind. Like I said, the brain doesn't have a firewall. So I want you to understand how it really truly works, and not the BS side of it, not the sci-fi side of it, because the movies, they run them, they tell you lies. They don't want you to know this. They don't want you to know the truth. So Raytheon puts a pulse array system around you through smart meters, through SmartCon, which SmartCon is responsible for SubCon. Now, I want you to understand what SubCon is. SubCon is a demon, is a Nazi demon that they developed with Nazi human experimentation during the Nazi era of mind control and casting demons into people. So what the Nazis did is they digitalized SubCon. Then after they digitalized SubCon, and when you digitalize something, how do you digitalize something? Well, from what I expected they did is they had a possessed person with the demon that they called or coined SubCon, which takes over your subconsciousness, and they digitized it. They took a reading of the person's brain with SubCon in it. So then they were able to make a digitization of the demon. So then they took that binaural sequence of ones and zeros and entered it into a computer. Now, I know this can factually be done from what they call a system or a program called Brain Gate, which reads the human's mind and deciphers the binaural code and turns it into computer language. This is factual. So then I want you to understand what Raytheon has online. Factual. SubCon, SmartCon, DemonCon. So they have this through smart meters. Now, when you get into smart meters and how Operation Thumbtack works, this is exactly how it works. So if you understand an entrance or a passageway into somebody's home, you must understand witches and witchcraft and how they're obsessed with keys, gateways. Sound familiar? Hackers, hack keys, gateway technology. Everybody used to have to use gateway on their computer system. Gatekeepers must have a gatekeeper, which is a demon. Now, SmartCon, that is the Wi-Fi network for SubCon, which SubCon is the subconscious demon, must have a gatekeeper to everyone's house. Just like old school witches, a vampire can't come in a home without you giving it permission. A witch can't come in your home without it giving it permission. Same thing. But they did this digitally and give every home a digitalized protector demon, protector of SubCon. That's right. Because subcon is Operation Thumbtack. It is the manipulation of the mind, human control of the subconscious, putting false memories, which is called FMS, false memory syndrome, that was designed by the Satanic Church and the Nazis. Subcon is at the core of this. They all use it. When they administer mind control, they call on subcon since the days of the Nazis. So I want you to understand this subcon algorithm, satanic technology, is in cell phones, smart meters, Wi-Fi, your home. This is what the American government has spent so much money to put Operation Thumbtack into place. Operation Thumbtack is specifically this: creating mind control sleepers remotely, creating mind control assassins remotely, creating sex slaves remotely, creating mind control dumbed down deviants remotely, hands-off torture. This is Operation Thumbtack. Now you get the gist of it. Now I want you to understand what they do when they hack into your mind, okay? Let's take a visual picture of your brain. You have your front lobe, which is the front of your brain, which is your most attacked part of your body. I'm gonna let you know that. Then you have your left and right lobes. And then you have your forward brain and midbrain. And then you have your pineal gland. All these things are all separated to be controlled by subcon. If you don't understand these parts of your brain, pre-learn them. And when I say pre-learn them, I mean pre-learn them better than you thought you knew your own mind. That's the only way that you can really comprehend subcon. Now, I want you to understand one big, huge thing. How subcon, when it comes in and say you're not infected by black goo or subcon network and then you get infected. Well, subcon kind of works like this. It comes into your subconscious, gets in your system and sits in your subconscious, in your chi, and your fourth chakra, your lower chakra, in your sexual chakra. Because subcon is all about sexual energy. So what it does is, say one day you're out partying and you get infected by subcon and you're at the club, your subconscious voice sounds like mine, sounds like this. And then you go to a party and then you sleep with a Satanist and he infects you with subcon, and then your subconscious voice gets overmasked by subcon and it no longer sounds like this, it sounds like this. But you don't notice it goes from sounding like this to sounding like this. It sounds a bit muffled. It sounds just like yours, but it sounds a little bit different, but you don't notice the difference. This is subcon. Do you understand? So this is overmasking of your subconscious voice and then attaching itself to your adrenaline. Now, why your adrenaline? Because subcon loves anger, loves hate. So when you get mad, it feeds off that. When you can do extraordinary things, when your adrenaline gets pumping, subcon wants to control that. Wants that kind of control over you and wants that strength from your adrenaline. So then it goes from the adrenaline down to your nerve endings of your spine, and then works each one and then eases up into the middle of your spine and then up your spine to your brain stems. And guess what? Up your brain stem, up your pineal gland, midbrain, and that's it. It's got control. Then the government sends in a nice little, okay, we got it. The government says, okay, we got it too, and the government does what they do for subcon. They come in and spray chemtrails because they got a new one. You need some heavy metals in your body. Barbarium. Nanotechnology. Smart dust, huh? So they come in with chemtrails and sprays over you after you done slept with this witch and you don't even know what happened. Boom, just like that. That is the system. Now you understand Operation Thumbtack. Now, here's the biggest keffer of Operation Thumbtack that I want you to get the biggest gist part of it, okay? When you have your brain, the lobes. Now, in order to make someone resistant to pain, how do you do that? Scientists, huh? Well, we know through Chinese acupuncture, you can do this with needles. By placing them in specific parts of the brain and closing off specific parts of the brain, and with synthetic telepathy and smart dust, electrons and electrolysis and nanotechnology, you can build new pathways to bypass memories and brain parts through programming with nanotechnology and smart dust. This is 2016. This is Operation Thumbtack. So rather than actually using a thumbtack to place it in, say, the front lobe of your brain with a thumbtack, or say a needle to numb you down so they can get that frequency and read everything, they'll use a little nanobot that's putting out radio frequency identifier frequencies. RFID, baby. It's the next thing, you know? If you don't know about RFID, IBM made RFID chips. IBM is responsible for putting the tattoos on the Hebrews and responsible for the Holocaust. Pretty much, you know, what would the Holocaust have been without, you know, keeping track of the Jews with the tattoos? Nothing. That's IBM. So, moving back to Operation Thumbtack, it's literally from there. Human experimentation. It is still going on. So I want you to understand that Operation Thumbtack takes little nanobots instead of thumbtacks and puts them in little places in your brain to numb you down, to numb your senses, remote programming, pain, torture, instate false memories when you sleep, steal your dreams, create false realities, mind wiping, mind warping, turn you into an assassin, sex slave, and then make you forget about it the next day. You wake up, you have a cut on your arm, you don't know how it even got there. That's subcon practicing stuff in your sleep and making you do that, and then you wake up and you don't remember it. This is the NSA CIA Operation Thumbtack. This is video 1. I like to keep it short, compressed, direct, because, hey CIA, can you quit flying helicopters over my house, delivering packets to the cartel that lives under me? Because all of Houston has an underground that these Satanists, use their train system so they can take human trafficking victims directly into their home and back down to the underground without anybody seeing them. Okay, Umbrella? Seriously. So could you quit flying the helicopters over any place where I am trying to pass packets, pups, for programs and trying to see 3 key things? To all you people that want to take them down. They say 3 key things about me. 3 key things. What's he thinking? What happened? What version? That's all they say. First 3 questions when they get hooked into the synthetic telepathy, when they send one of their so-called assassins at me. Mexican assassin, synthetic assassin, that all give, their livelihood to demons. So why is these 3 things? Well, first of all, I want you to understand what's he thinking, because synthetic telepathy, they have to know what I'm thinking, my fighting style. I think about it a lot. Scares them, huh? And all the other stuff that they tried to reverse engineer and steal from me and lock down and Operation Thumbtack, pin down, right? With their pin demons. I'm not going to even get into that. It's a whole nother video. Pin demon. That's the top of their creme de la creme of, pinning down people's energy. It's called binding. Witches know what a binding is. Well, this is what Operation Thumbtack is about. Binding energy, stealing energy, harvesting energy, channeling energy. That's all they do. They're vampires. So, hey, U.S. military, could you quit flying the cops with the choppers and the dog that you paid the Mexican cartel to fight me with to give me heart attacks because you needed new synthetic telepathy in me? It didn't work. And even if it does, I still recorded the video. So I still win even if I die. Fuck you. Seriously. So that's to Houston and Metro. You know, because I grew up with an Operation Paperclip, son of a raped Nazi, Operation Paperclip, son of a rapist here in NASA. And that goes all the way back up to Metro coke dealers. And so they come down with their coke dealing cartel, Hillary Clinton, coke dealing sanctioned dog, and bite me on my chest at a Metro stop where I was emceeing about this stuff and more. You know? Coincidence, huh? Cocaine in Metro? So I'm gonna throw you out to the wolves with this video too. Fuck you. What did I do other than tell the truth? Seriously. And then you hack into me, my family, my friends, everybody around me, and then you move your witches in around us too, over years to do it too, to have my family, trust them? I don't trust them, I never did. And then I have to be homeless again and again and again and again, and have family members say this and this, and then lose my dad. And I know you killed him. So this is to the U.S. military and the government, Operation Thumbtack, right? This is it. You don't have anything other than this. Your head assassin that was in your underground base that you sent to fight me, your child assassin, well, was using a cell phone and a laptop. The police traced him, along with the French, the Russians, and the Romanians, and whatever else assassin wants to kill you guys because of what you do. Your head of C.I.A. security is a kid of synthetic telepathy. So he got traced. I'm just putting that out, C.I.A. That's what happened today. Welcome to Operation Thumbtack. Live play-by-play action. Ain't that right? I am Zakaos, reporting on the Reich. Because Texas is full of them. And they think they're not going to die. They don't have anything else anymore. It doesn't get any sicker than this. Operation Thumbtack comes from Operation Clip Paper. That's what it was. And then Operation Clip Paper turned into Operation Paper Clip. Ain't that right, CIA? These are facts. I deal in facts, not bullshit. I am Zakaos. Have a good day. Stay in the light. Walk in the light. And hey, CIA, if I know this much and reported this much on how your system works, how much do you think hackers know? And these keywords I've released in this video. I'm going to leave you with this. The first two Greys names that were made by Nazis. Apollyon, Lucifer, Grey. That was the first Grey that they made. Guess what the second Grey was? Guess. Guess, come on. Anybody guess? Satan Grey. Okay, so I want you to understand anything that goes by these two names, which Stephen Binion, digitally goes by Satan himself. As for, governmental hackers that have seen his stuff, and military, and even Interpol, we all know he goes by Satan himself. So Apollyon, Lucifer, all that stuff. Now, researching these names, you'll find all their other passwords and passkeys. You have a fucking field day. So, how about NSA, CIA, and all you guys that are into raping kids and that won't do anything and like to make jokes in the new Batman, Superman movie about Ben Affleck being Batman, and us knowing that he's a rapist too, and that he gives a shit about what, human trafficking? Like what, you said that like twice in the new movie? Oh, that's a nice joke, huh? So anyway, have a good day, walk in the light, understand what they do, they're sick. I am Zakaos, telling you the things that they don't want you to know, surviving the stuff that so many have died trying to get out. Thank you. Peace. Says one word and the whole FBI goes Hail Hitler. This is not a joke. This is not a lie. This is their system. Operation Thumbtack. Now, I want you to understand some major things. The mind does not have a firewall. It doesn't. If you don't pay attention to how your mind works, what you think after you thought it, before you thought it, what made you think this, how do you feel about this thought, where's this thought going to take you, where did it come from, is this a good thought, is this my thought? If you don't think like this, you don't understand synthetic telepathy. One thing I need you to understand is it is a question. Hello, beautiful people. How are you today? I'm gonna tell you some things in this recording that they don't want you to know because they want me dead, because of what I'm about to tell you and how I'm about to explain it to you, and what they've been doing to me for the last 2 weeks. It hasn't stopped. They put a kill order on me with their synthetic telepathy. It's been strictly, specifically attacking my heart. And I think Metro Police Department had something to do with the dog bite. It's very painful, but I know what it's doing because I know my body really well. And I can feel it moving inside of me, and I know the names of it. And I'm going to break down the Nazi soft kill synthetic telepathy. Now, I want you to understand a few things before I get into Operation Thumbtack. Major things. If you don't have a background in science, if you don't have a background in medicine, if you don't know how your brain and mind work and the lymphatic system work, or even what that is, this will probably confuse you. Learn about your body and its inner workings, please. It's very important. Knowledge is power. Now, I want you to understand what works and what doesn't. It is the sickest of the sickest programs, and to get the information that they did, and to get the so-called super soldiers that they did, and to get the human trafficking, sex slave, rape victims that they do, they must have a system that works without compromising this system that I'm about to tell you about. This is a mind control system based on making a human bark like a dog and then forgetting about it. This is a mind control system that has taken the FBI, all of them, and put them in one room for a staffing meeting, and a Nazi director of the FBI that is their so-called therapist who administers mind control. This operation, called Operation Thumbtack, is at the highest, it's the end of it. Russia, Japan, China, everybody has spent millions, possibly billions of dollars on assassins and assassin training and technology to understand what I'm about to tell you for free, because they've used it on me and tried to kill me, and I'm still alive to talk about it right now. So I want you to understand Operation Thumbtack is, in a nutshell, it is the collaboration of all the Nazi MK Ultra human experimentation compiled into what